Saddle up, Broncos Country. The temperature is rising at Dove Valley, and I've got some explosive intel to drop on you right now. We all crave that Lombardi trophy, and landing it means our GM has to craft a lethal squad worthy of the title. I'm spilling all the tea. But first, smash that like button if you've been riding with Denver for over 20 years. Love seeing the OG fans mixed with the new blood. Drop a comment below to rep your set. Go Broncos, I bleed that orange and blue. Jarrett Stidham. Not the name you'd bet on for an AFC championship headliner. Yet here he is the protagonist in a silent but deadly script written in the shadows. 29 years old. Once just a footnote on the Patriots bench. Now holding the keys to the kingdom in the mile-high city. Here's the kicker. Luck had absolutely nothing to do with it. Stidham takes the wheel at the 11th hour. The mission? Take down the New England Empire. Twist of fate. His first ever playoff duel and only his fifth start is against the very team that drafted him. It's a saga of grit and destiny. Inside the facility, there's an electric current of belief surging through the locker room, the staff, and the beat writers. Head coach Sean Payton isn't just on board, he's driving the bandwagon. He didn't just inherit Stidham. He hunted him down as a priority target. Payton's had eyes on him since his Auburn days, snatching him up the second the window opened. Now, the gamble faces the ultimate test in a win-or-go-home showdown. But let's talk about the bad blood boiling over. The Patriots are running their mouths, strutting around and mocking Denver like they're untouchable gods. But a blizzard is forming at Mile High, and the Broncos are ready to reintroduce themselves to the league. Comparing the pressers was night and day. Denver stood like a phalanx, locked in, cohesive, burning hot. New England? Pure hubris. Look at their rookie offensive tackle, for instance. High draft pick, sure, but the metrics say he's the 32nd best tackle out of 89. Mediocre. He's walking into a buzzsaw. The internet is roasting his pass protection, noting how Drake May is running for his life on every snap. Yet, when asked about Nik Bonitto, literally the second fastest edge rusher alive behind Myles Garrett, he shrugged it off. A dismissive, lazy, yeah, he's decent. That level of arrogance? Lethal. Not for us, but for them. Bonitto and Jonathan Cooper aren't just stat lines, they are absolute wrecking balls. These guys terrorize quarterbacks until they rethink their career paths. Bonitto is elite, and Cooper matches his violence step for step. New England is sleepwalking right off a cliff into a Denver nightmare. Then there's Christian Gonzalez. Ask any pro about the altitude, and they respect the thin air immediately. It's the league's deadliest home field edge. But he just smirked. We'll see how that smirk holds up when Marvin Mims leaves him gasping for oxygen. That confidence is going to evaporate fast. But the ultimate insult came from Milton Williams regarding our quarterback. Asked for a scouting report on Stidham, he replied, "Nothing. I won't lie. That right there is bulletin board gold." Sean Payton didn't even need to give a speech. Stidham isn't here to play nice. He's playing for Bo Nix. And his dedication to the cause? It sends shivers down your spine. Absolutely chilling. He told the press this isn't about payback or contracts. It's about Bo, his brother-in-arms battling back from injury. He spends more time with Nix than his own kids. He's on a crusade to honor him. That brotherhood is authentic. You can't fake that fire. This isn't just a game. They are fighting for the badge, for Bo, for the city. That alchemy is rare in professional sports. Payton has crafted a culture as tight-knit as a varsity squad. Loyal, vicious, unbreakable. They'll crush more talented teams on pure belief alone. And listen closely. Stidham has the arm. The Pats have zero clue what Payton has cooked up for him in this offense. We're talking laser precision, ice in his veins, and a man who dropped 365 yards. On the 49ers' juggernaut defense. He's been carving up Denver's elite defense in practice all year, throwing no-look darts that leave jaws on the floor. Word is, Vance Joseph actually got heated because the scout team quarterback was making his starters look bad. While New England hits the snooze button on him, the true power players of the league are wide awake. A shadow executive actually whispered that Denver might be more dangerous with Stidham than Bo, not on raw skill, but because his style is kryptonite for these Patriots. Jordan Palmer, the quarterback guru who sculpted both passers, insists the difference is practically non-existent when both are firing on all cylinders. That isn't fanboy optimism. That is cold, hard expertise. And Denver just received some monumental updates from the medical tent. Luke Wattenberg has emerged from the depths of IR and is back in the trenches. Alex Forsyth, nursing that ankle tweak, is looking primed for kickoff, meaning we likely escape the Mustafer situation this round. But the headline grabber? J.K. Dobbins, going full throttle in practice. He looked explosive, sharp, and was running with the ones. Pat Bryant is back in the mix, as well. That injects serious high-octane fuel into this offense. Conversely, New England is bleeding talent. Mac Hollins, one of their most dynamic weapons, is officially grounded this week. That is a massive victory for the Denver secondary, particularly when you factor in the Arctic blast about to slam mile high, sub-zero kickoff temps, bone-chilling winds, and that suffocating thin air. It is the ultimate horror movie script for an offense dependent on delicate timing and rhythm. Flashback to that heart-wrenching double overtime playoff exit years ago with Peyton Manning. It wasn't a talent deficit that killed us. It was the freeze. But now, the elements are our ally because this is not just another postseason fixture. This has transcended X's and O's. This is about soul. And if this Broncos squad has proven one thing all season, it is that they are cut from a different cloth. Every microphone moment, every locker room confession, every exchange on the sidelines reveals a unit that is fused together way beyond the hash marks. They aren't just wearing the same jersey. They are brothers in arms, waging war for a higher calling. That is the DNA of a miracle team. That is the squad that stands tall when the spotlight burns hottest. Let's discuss the identity Sean Payton has forged here. He has built a brotherhood that echoes the tight-knit spirit of that legendary 1997 Super Bowl roster. That isn't just hype. It is the word on the street from the guys in the pads and the suits. When a leader inspires his men to bleed for one another, to play with true mission, that is when you spark those fairy tale runs we talk about for 50 years. And Jarrett Stidham? He isn't just a passenger. He is the heartbeat driving this machine. His head game entering this showdown is pristine. No jitters, no panic, just laser focus and ice in his veins. When pressed about the tsunami of fan love backing him, he didn't talk about silencing critics or stat sheets. He spoke of honoring Bo Nix. That tells you everything about the soul of this franchise. He is battling for Bo. The whole roster is. Meanwhile, the Patriots just keep running their mouths, the arrogance dripping from their quotes, dismissing the elevation, ignoring predators like Bonitto and Cooper, treating Stidham like a camp body. They are woefully unprepared, in body and in mind. This won't be a casual stroll into Foxborough against a dying giant. This is Denver. This is the Rockies in January. This is shark-infested waters. Make no mistake, New England is marching straight into a meat grinder. The Broncos have been fed disrespect all week, and every snide remark from the East Coast is just pouring gasoline on the fire. Whether they are sleeping on our pass rush, laughing off the thin air, or admitting they haven't studied our quarterback, it is all pinned to the locker room wall at Dove Valley. That specific brand of hubris breeds upsets. See, Stidham doesn't need to be a magician. He just needs to be authentic, surgical, and bold. With the offensive line reinforced by Wattenberg and maybe Forsyth, he has a real shot to stand tall, scan the field, and unleash weapons like Marvin Mims, J.K., Dobbins, and Pat Bryant. And do not sleep on the freeze factor. The Patriots' attack, high octane as it might be, is not engineered for this tundra. Elevation, negative wind chill, and Pat Surtain draping receivers like a blanket. It is a formula for their misery, and the Denver defense is salivating. Drake May is stepping into the most deafening, hostile cauldron of his rookie life. Remember, this is his maiden voyage in the playoffs on the road, and it is unfolding in conditions that break 10-year vets. We are talking deafening noise, bone-deep cold, and thin air. You cannot replicate that on a practice field. You cannot condition your lungs for this back in Foxborough. Come the third quarter, those Patriot big men will be gasping for oxygen. That is when Bonitto and Cooper go for the jugular. And never discount the power of the wave. The vibe in Denver is absolutely magnetic right now. Everyone is buying in. Broncos social media is ablaze with Stidham love, memes, and all. That shot of him rocking the shades, the LeBron throwback vibe, it is everywhere. It is the symbol of our belief.